Hi guys, doing a review today on the Atomic Centurion, British Tier 8 medium. My mate Lee gifted me this, so thanks Lee, it means I can do this review. Now this tank's got standard matchmaking, so it plays up to Tier 10. It's got a 65% silver bonus, which is fantastic, and it's even better when you consider the fact that the standard penetration on the shells is 226 and 258 on the premium. You don't often need to fire premium in this unless it's, a very heavily stacked tier 10 game. So this thing just makes insane amounts of silver. So if you like grinding silver, it is fantastic, and in general it's a really enjoyable tank to play. Now with the Centurions, after they got the engine buff, you basically got tanks that are amazing at ridgeline fighting. This one's pretty nippy. I've also got the Primal Victoria, but the engine on that tank's worse than this one. So this one's pretty quick, it tops out around 48-50. You've got crap hull armour, you don't want to get shot in the hull, that's very bad, but you've got a decent turret. You also get 10 degrees of gun depression, and on this one a fairly accurate gun. Some of the other premium Centurions do have better guns, accuracy wise, but this one's certainly workable, and this one's got a very good rate of fire as well. So basically, you've got workable armour on the turret, you've got good mobility, and you've got really good DPM with a nice accurate gun with decent penetration. So all in all, this it's a pretty amazing medium tank, to be fair. Now I've come around here so I can use the terrain here as hull down cover should I need to. However, I'm well aware that the light tank hasn't spotted anything yet, and if they were rushing up here, they'd be lit up by now. So I'm thinking I can maybe move to the little dip in front of me and get hull down in there. One tank gets spotted. That's actually in shooting range, and that's the T-34, so I'm going to put some shots into him. The KV-2 was lit up as well, but he's behind a rock from where I am, so he's not currently a threat. Now it's got a nice punchy gun. Your alpha damage is just 230-ish, which with the rate of fire, it's not too bad. It's fairly standard for a tier 8 medium, really. As you can see, the mobility is really quite good. It can, climb about the place quite easily. Now here I was looking for new targets. I was going to press on ahead. However, I noticed there's some targets in the centre of the map, and my platoon mate Lee over there, I think he's after moving up on these, but obviously 2 versus 1 it'd be a bit risky. So I'm going to link up with him, and then we've got these guys in a pincer move. Now I put my first shell into the roof of the Carnarvon's turret, but then I make a mistake and I go too far forwards. However, I have at this point got their attention, which has given Lee the opening. He's taken out the tier 6 tank, and now it's just us 2 versus the Carnarvon. And we do have the high ground. He's done the right thing in a way, he's moved forwards, and I've gone too far forwards again and got shot. But he's paying all of his attention to me at the moment, which means he's vulnerable to shots from Lee. Again, just putting the shots in, the rate of fire on this tank is really good. The Carnarvon puts a shot into Lee, but at that point I decide to go for it and just close in. He's dead. I nearly managed to flip my tank, which is something I'm, amazing at doing. I finally get my crap together and managed to turn it around, but I missed a shot at the TD. Being a Centurion, it's not very good at snapshots. While the gun has got decent stats on it, you do have to aim it in if you want the shots to hit. British tanks are renowned for having spaghetti guns, basically, unless you aim it in. If you don't aim it in, the shot's going to just curve off anywhere it wants. Now this guy's quite a severe threat, it's a very good TD. I put one into his track, but he fixes that and he's on his way up anyway. And I eat a shell. Put another into his track, because I'm hoping we can immobilise him. And I'm moving him for the kill, and so is Lee. And here, I'm keeping him tracked, and Lee's putting some shots in, and then in a minute, Lee's going to track it, and then I'm going to put some shots in. So we've teamed up, we've made it so this guy's harmless, he can't do anything against us, and then we're just sharing the damage between ourselves. I do think I got the lion's share of the damage there, though Lee was quite generous. Now we're moving up, just trying to find another tank to link up with. Now the rate of fire obviously on this tank on one of them is pretty good. If you've got two of them together, your damage output gets pretty ridiculous and you can just chew through your opponent's health. So, I mean, I like playing this tank solo as well. It's, like I said, it's a really good tank, but if you can find 1 or 2 people to platoon up with using them, you can just carve through enemy tanks, providing you're careful. Now, the Absolution's no match. Thankfully, the gun, obviously, that does have pretty troll armor on the sides, but the accuracy on the gun means more often than not, you know, you can aim for the weak spots and stuff. Now, we're going to go around here. Never been this way on the Amazon map, neither at least. We were kind of hoping that the road here just went straight ahead and didn't force us to curve over to the right hand side. He's spotted the ISU, however, if it's got the big gun that can do a chunk of damage, so he's not rushing it yet, and he's advised me to go down to the left and flank around it. I really do love the mobility on this tank. It's really good. I like my Primo Victoria, but it can be a bit sluggish at times, which is a problem this one doesn't have at all. Now put one into the back of him and then just going to keep shooting him. He stays where he is because he didn't want that to happen. The tier 6 tried rushing over and 852mm shell for it. So yeah, these two are yeah, one of my favourite platoon tanks at the moment, a pair of these. It's also good for the machine contract, which I'm currently grinding through, because it's an enjoyable tank to play. It's not a boring premium tank. When I used to play the Centurion 1s, basically, they used to struggle a bit because they were limited to go in at 40. But now they can go at 50, and you know, they've got decent turret armour. They're really quite good tanks. Now, I was hoping it'd bring up the actual results screen just so I could show you the silver earning, but it decided not to, unfortunately. Whilst I'm going through, another friend gifted me this the other day, so I'll be doing a review on the Jackal as soon as I can. It's an interesting tank, to be fair. I'm quite enjoying it. Now, here's the stats for the Atomic. As you can see, the accuracy is not as good as some of the others at 0.35, but it's certainly workable. It's got 100 extra HP compared to the Swedish Centurion, and the rate of fire is 0.57 better, I believe. Got 254mm of armour on your turret, which is a decent amount, but don't get overconfident with it. I got myself hauled down the other day behind a wrecked tank fighting a AMX 48, the French TD up at tier 8, and a Jagdtiger. And while the turret armour there is pretty good, a Jagdtiger, it doesn't care. And it was just punching holes straight through my gun mantlet. Now the turret is weak on top, as you can see there, but it's still 88mm, so things aren't going to overmatch it, and it's got quite a severe angle. Any shots from the top are just going to cut straight through that, so if any tank's got any elevation on you, you're going to be in trouble. But if you use your gun depression, you can hide your hatch and that weaker bit there, and you'll just make it difficult for things to bend your turret. Like I said, it's not invincible, so try not to get overconfident. And if anything gets a shot at your hull, you're in trouble, because the hull is not really going to block anything. But if you like hull down play, and you like your medium tanks, and you like earning a fortune, then this is for you. I would actually say that as far as premium tanks go, this one is a must buy. The only reason I didn't buy it before was because I didn't want it making my Primo Victoria obsolete, but that's still got its use as a Swedish crew trainer, thankfully. But yeah, if you can snap this one up at any point, I do suggest doing so, unless you hate medium tanks. Anyway, thanks guys, I'll get another review up as soon as I can, and cheers!